Now come to the next problem of journal. Again I am giving you one question and we will solve it. Okay? So the question is, pass journal entries for the following transactions. Transactions number 1, provide depreciation on furniture and on machinery. Provide depreciation on furniture and machinery. First of all, I'll draw one format of a journal. Okay, first of all, I'm going to draw one format of a journal. Okay, this is the format. One format of a journal. Okay, so this is for, this column is for date, this is for particular, this is for ledger folio, this is for amount in rupees, this is for debit side and this is for credit side. So this is the format. In the top we will write the journal entry, journal entries. Okay, journal entries. If in the books is mentioned, then we will write at the top in the books of. Okay, here in the books of is not given, so start with the journal. Provide depreciation on furniture and machinery. So depreciation, you know what is depreciation? Depreciation means fall in the value of assets, fall or decrease in the value of assets due to any reason, maybe continuous use, maybe passes of time, maybe accident, maybe change of technology, whatever reason may be. If the value of assets decrease, this is called depreciation. This will call depreciation. So decrease in the value of assets is called depreciation. Depreciation is expense, but it's a non-cash expense. Non-cash expense means we will not pay anything to others. For instance, if you paid salary, then cash will goes out or bank balance will reduce. But when we charge the depreciation, depreciation is such expense where we are not going to pay anything. Only what will happen, the value of that particular assets will decrease. Value of that particular assets will decrease, in which we are charging depreciation. So depreciation is the expense. It comes under which account? It comes under nominal account, and all expenses and losses are debited. So depreciation will debit. Another side, we charge the depreciation on two assets. One is on machinery, another is on furniture and machinery. We charge depreciation on these two assets, furniture and machinery. Furniture is real account, machinery is also real account. Assets, it's an assets. Machinery is what? It's an assets. If assets comes in the business, then debit, and if assets goes out from the business is credit. Rules of real account is what comes in is debit, what goes out is credit. Here, as machinery and furniture is not goes out from the business, but the value of machinery is decreased by that amount. So it is similar to that. Assets is not goes out from the business. It is in the business, it is inside the business, and we are using that assets, but on the same time the value of assets is decreasing or has decreased. So this value has decreased, it means similar to that, what goes out is credit, means the value has decreased. So that's why these two accounts will be credited. Okay, value decreases, not goes out, but value decrease. So depreciation will be debited. Here the date is not given, serial number 1. We'll write here in the serial number 1. Depreciation account debit. Depreciation, it's an expense. All expenses and losses are debited. So we'll debit it. And these two are credited. So we'll take the space over here. Then we'll write furniture. In the credit, to furniture account means furniture is credited. To machinery account means machinery is also credited. Okay. So depreciation on furniture is 500. We'll write in the credit side 500, and depreciation on machinery is 2000. So total is how much? 2500. Depreciate by 2500 in total. 500 of furniture and 2000 of machinery, it becomes 2500. We have done the composite entry, compound entry over here. So what we'll write in the narration? We'll write being machinery and furniture depreciated. That's it. We'll write in over here being furniture and machinery depreciated. That's it. This will be the narration. And thereafter, after the writing the narration, will close this space up to particular only. Okay, up to this space. So this transaction is over. Now see the next transaction. Received cash rupees 1000 for bad debts written off last year. The bad debts which was write off written off last year, considered as bad debts, that amount has received this year, or that amount has received. When we receive that amount, so cash account will open, and bad debts amount when it is recovered, then we open the account bad debts recovered account. The name of the account is bad debts recovered account. Okay. So the received cash for bad debts written off last year. The last year we have considered that this much amount will not be recovered and considered as a bad debts. It's a loss. But this year that amount has recovered. That amount has received. The debtor has paid that amount to us. So cash comes in the business. Cash comes under real account. What comes in is debit. What comes in is debit. And bad debts recovered comes under which account? Nominal account. Nominal account, and under the nominal account all incomes and gains are credited. It's a income, and this will be credited. This will be all incomes and gains are credited under the nominal account. All expenses and losses are debited. So entry will be cash account debit, cash account debit to bad debts is credit. So right, we like the credit like this to take, we are taking space over here, to bad debts recovered, bad debts recovered account, being, we'll write the narration over here. So amount is how much? Amount is 1000 is received, 1000 is recovered. So 1000 in debit in the front of the cash, and in front of the bad debts recovered we have written the amount in the credit side, because bad debts recovered is credit, so we'll write the amount in the credit side. Narration will be very simple. Being cash recovered which was written off bad debts last year. या being bad debts recovered. Simply being bad debts recovered. Okay, being bad debts recovered, that's it. So this second transactions. Now come to the third transactions. Ajay was declared bankrupt. Bankrupt means insolvent. Bankrupt. He owed 2,500 to us and nothing could be recovered from his estate. The Ajay, probably the Ajay is the debtors, Ajay Singh was declared bankrupt. It means he is not in a position to pay his dues. He is not in a position to pay his dues because he has declared bankrupt. So when he declared bankrupt and we owed from them 2,500, nothing could be recovered from his estate. So nothing could be recovered from his estate means it is bad debts account and Ajay Singh account. Bad debts comes under nominal account. It's a loss because you will not recover anything because Ajay Singh is declared insolvent, declared bankrupt, and nothing is recovered from his estate. Estate means his property. So there is no property of that Ajay Singh. So nothing has recovered from his estate after the declaration of bad debts. When the court has declared the Ajay Singh as a bankrupt or as an insolvent, nothing has recovered by the court from their personal assets, from their personal property. So entire amount will be considered as loss, bad debts. So bad debts account and Ajay. So all losses and expenses are debited. All losses and expenses is debited as per the rules of nominal account. Ajay Singh comes under personal account. So he is the giver of what? He has not given anything, but he has given the loss to us. So credit. He has not given anything, but he has given the loss. No benefit, but he has not given anything means he's put ourselves in such a situation that we face trouble, loss. Loss is given by him. So he is the credit. His account will be credited. So bad debts is a loss and all expenses and losses debit. And who has given this loss? Ajay Singh. Who is Ajay Singh? Ajay Singh is the debtors. What was the amount? 2,500. Debit and credit 2,500 in front of the Ajay Singh and bad debts in front of Ajay. Bad debts in the debit side, you will write this amount. Being, what we will write in narration? Question is what we will write in narration. Yes, we will write in narrations. Being Ajay Singh declared insolvent and nothing has recovered from his estate. Being Ajay Singh, we will write over being Ajay Singh declared insolvent and nothing has recovered from his estate. That's it. This will be the narration. So is it clear? So next transaction, we'll see the next transaction thereafter, the fourth transactions. Okay, we'll see the fourth transactions. Now see the fourth transaction. Rupees 20,000 for wages and 1,000 for salary are outstanding. Rupees 20,000 for wages and rupees 4,000 for salary are outstanding. Outstanding salary or outstanding wages means it is due but not paid. Salary and wages are due but not paid by the firm, not paid by the business, not paid by the company. Okay, so wages and salary account will be open, wages and salaries, and on the same time we will open the outstanding wages because we have not paid outstanding wages and for salary we will open outstanding salary. Outstanding salary. Wages, salary, outstanding wages and outstanding salary, because these two are not paid, so it is due, outstanding. So outstanding word is clear. Outstanding means salary is due, the workman or the staff has done their work, month is completed, but the salary or wages is not paid to them till the end of the financial year. Till the end of the financial year, that wages and salary is not paid. So we will open the outstanding salary account and outstanding wages account. So here wages comes under nominal account, salary also comes under nominal account, all expenses and losses debit, all expenses and losses debit. Wages comes, outstanding wages and outstanding salary, they comes under which account? They comes under personal, real or nominal? They comes under personal account. Which account? Personal account. And you know the rules of personal account. Under the personal account, they comes under which account? Artificial person, natural person or representative person. Outstanding wages and outstanding salary comes under representative person. Representative. Okay. So rules of personal account is debit the receiver and credit the giver. So here outstanding wages or outstanding salary, here we'll credit this one, credit these two one, outstanding wages and outstanding salary will be credited by us because we have not paid the amount of salary and wages to employee. It means that amount is in our business. In our business. It means outstanding salary and outstanding wages represent to the employee whom salary or wages is not paid by us. It represent to that employee, and that employee's salary and wages is in the hand of the employer, in the hand of the business. It means that employee has given the amount to the business. So that employee is the giver, is the giver, is the giver. That's why credit. They represent what? They represent outstanding salary and outstanding wages represent to that employee whose salary or wages is not paid. It represents to that employee whose salary or wages is not paid. So if we have not paid the wages and salary to them, however they have done their work, they have completed their work of that month or that particular year, and we have not paid the salary, it means that the amount of the employee is in the business. That amount is in the business. It means they are the giver of that amount. They have not received that amount. So their amount is in my pocket. If anybody's amount is my pocket, I have to give them, but I have not given them. So it means they are the giver. So accordingly, these two account will be credited because they are the giver. They are the comes under representative person. So here fourth number transaction, wages will be debited, salary account will be debited, to outstanding wages, to outstanding salary. Being wages and salary due, not paid. So this will be block. This is a compound entry. Wages and salary is debit, so we'll do the debit. The amount is, wages and salary amount is wages 20,000 and salary is 4,000. Wages 20 and salary is 4. So here in outstanding wages we will credit 20,000 for wages, and outstanding salary we will credit the 4,000. It's a compound entry because in the same date or in the same transaction both entry has given. So we can do the compound entry. Wages account debit to outstanding wages, salary account debit to outstanding salary. We may do the entry in two different: wages to outstanding wages one entry, salary to outstanding salary second entry. Instead of doing two entry, we have done this entry in a one. Okay, that entry is called compound entry. These two are debited and these two are credited. So and the date or the order number is same. That's why we do the compound entry to save the energy. Okay, and narration will combine narration being wages and salary due. Okay, next transactions: purchased furniture for rupees 6,000 for the proprietor and paid the amount by check. Purchased furniture, we have purchased the furniture, but furniture is purchased for whom? Purchased for business or purchased for proprietor's personal use? So here the furniture purchased for proprietors. So when the business purchased the furniture for proprietors, so it means that business has given the amount to proprietor for their personal use. So instead of furniture account, we will open the drawings account. It indicates that proprietor has withdrawn the amount from the business for their personal expenses. It's a proprietor's own furniture is purchased from the business cash. So that is called drawings. So and the amount is paid by check, so bank account. Because the amount is paid by check, so bank account. Drawings comes under personal account. Debit the receiver and credit the giver. When the business has given the amount to proprietor to purchase the furniture, or business has purchased the furniture for proprietor, it is the same thing. Or business or proprietor has withdrawn the money from the business, it is the same thing. Proprietor has withdrawn the money for his personal use. Business has purchased the proprietor's furniture from the business cash. Okay, it is same thing, drawings. So proprietor is the receiver, he is the receiver of, so his account will be debited, and bank comes under personal account. Giver of that amount, bank has given the amount in our behalf. Okay, so bank account will be credited. So point number 5, drawings account will be debited because the proprietor has withdrawn the money from business, or you can say that the business has purchased the furniture for proprietor. It is the same thing. And 2, bank account, bank is credited, so bank will be credited. So we will start with the 2. We will write the narration being, in narration we will write the details. Amount is 6,000. Amount is how much? 6,000. So 6,000 in debit drawing account and 6,000 in credit in bank account. Okay. What we will write in narration? We will write in narration the same thing, being furniture purchased for proprietor's personal use and payment made by check. We will write the narration being furniture purchased for proprietor's personal use and payment made by check. That will be the narration, and thereafter you close this space. I am not going to write the narration, you write it. It's a very simple. Being furniture purchased for proprietor's personal use and payment made by check. You write it within the bracket. Okay, it's very simple. Next transaction is provide 9% interest on capital. Provide 9% interest on capital amounting to rupees 2 lakhs. Capital is of rupees 2 lakhs. Capital is how much? 2 lakhs. And interest on capital, they are charging at the rate of 9%. At the rate of 9%. So 9% of 2 lakhs. It is 18 lakhs. 9% of 2 lakh is how much? 18 lakhs. So 2 account will be open. One is interest on capital account. Interest on capital. interest on capital, and second is capital account. We will open the capital account because interest is not paid. The word is over here provide. It means it's a provision. Amount is not paid to the proprietor for interest on capital. So it is a provision. So interest on capital, if the business giving interest on capital which is given by the proprietors, if the proprietors capital, if the interest will be given by the business on that capital, so from the business point of view that interest will be the income or expense. If business is giving interest, if the business is giving interest on capital, so this interest on capital is the expense or income. It's an expense. So comes under nominal account. It is an expense. So all expenses and losses debit. Now come to the capital account. Interest is not given yet. It is due. It is due, not yet given. It is a provision. Provision for interest on capital. Provide interest on capital means it's a provision for interest on capital. So to whom interest has to be paid? Owner. So capital represent to the owner of the business. So to him the interest on capital will be given. So we have not given the interest to the proprietor. It means the proprietor's money is where? Where is that money? That money is in the business. So when that money is in the business, it means the proprietor has given that amount to me. If the amount I have not given to proprietor, interest amount is not given to proprietor, and that money is with me, it indicate what? It indicate that proprietor has given the money to me. So proprietor comes under personal account and he is the giver of that money. So it is credited. This account will be credited. This account will be credited. Suppose we have paid the amount, paid the interest on capital. Then instead of capital account, what we open? The cash account. Then the simple rules of cash comes under real account. What goes out is credit. Cash will be credited. If the interest on capital paid, then cash account will open. And cash account comes under which account? Real account. What comes in is debit, what goes out is credit. So cash goes out from the business, so cash will be credited. But here the cash is not paid. Amount is not paid to the proprietor. So proprietor's account means capital account will open, and if the interest is not paid, then interest, where is the interest amount? Where is the interest amount? Interest amount of interest is in the business, is inside the business. It is in the business. So it means the proprietor has given the amount. If I have not given the amount, it means that the proprietor's amount is with me. It means the proprietor has given that amount. So proprietor is the giver. So interest on capital will be debited. Point number 6, interest on capital account will be debited because interest on capital is considered as an expense of the business, and it is not yet paid. It should be paid to the proprietor. So proprietor's account means capital account. We'll open the capital account and we'll write that thereafter narration being interest on capital provided at the rate of 9%. Mean interest on capital provided. We'll write in the narration being interest on capital rupees 2 lakh. You don't like the amount, simply like being interest on capital provided at the rate of 9%. 9% is the rate of interest. You mention in the narration and close this one. So how much is the interest? Interest is 18,000. So 18,000 is the interest. 9% of 2 lakhs. It is 18,000. Now see the next. So next is your charge interest on drawings. Charge interest on drawing. You know what is drawing? If the proprietor has withdrawn the money from the business for personal use, that is called drawings. Whether the amount has withdrawn, whether any services of the business is availed by the proprietor for personal use. So it's a drawings. So interest, if in the deed it is mentioned that if the proprietor will withdraw the money for his personal use, interest will be charged by the business. So if it is given in the partnership deed or in the business terms and condition, it has mentioned that if the proprietor, owner of the business, if withdrawn the money for personal use, on that money the business will charge interest, if it is the conditions. So charge interest on drawing at the rate of at the rate of it is 1000. So interest on drawing account will be open. Interest on drawings account and drawings account, two account will be open. Drawings account, interest on drawing. Now listen carefully. If the business, in the terms and condition mentioned in the business, that if the proprietor withdrew the amount or withdraw the amount for their personal use, then the business will charge interest on that amount. So think about it. If the business charges the interest on that amount which is withdrawn by the proprietor for their personal use, so from business point of view, interest on drawing is income or expense from the business point of view. From the business point of view, it's an income because business is earning. When the proprietor has withdrawn the money for personal use and on that amount the business charges interest, so business will get the interest. So from the business point of view, it's an income. It comes under nominal account and it's an income, and all incomes and gains are credited. This one is clear. Now come to drawings. So we have charged the interest on proprietors who has withdrawn the money for their personal use. So we have charged it, but the proprietor has not paid that money to us. We have charged 1000 is charged, that you have to pay 1000, but proprietor has not or did not pay that money. That proprietor has not paid the money. It means my money, means business money, is in the hand of the proprietor. Business money, where is that interest money? If the proprietor has not given me that amount of interest, then that interest money of rupees 1000 is in which hand? It is in the hand of the proprietor. It means business has given the money to the proprietor. Business money is in the hand of the proprietor. It means it comes under personal account. Interest on drawing is credit. Is it clear? Thereafter come to drawing. Drawing comes under personal account. So interest on drawing, when the business charges the interest on the amount of drawing and that interest is not given by the proprietor to us. So proprietor is what? Proprietor is the receiver of that amount. Proprietor is the, drawing indicate what? Drawing indicate what? Drawing indicate what? Drawing indicate the proprietor. So proprietor is the receiver of that amount. Proprietor, that money is in the hand of the proprietor because proprietor has not given. So proprietor is the receiver. So his account will be debited. His account will be debited. Drawing account will be debited because interest money is in the hand of the proprietor. So proprietor is the receiver. He has not given the money to me. So proprietor is the receiver of that money. My money is in the hand of the proprietor, which should be given by the proprietor to me, but he has not given that money. It means my money is in the hand of the proprietor. So proprietor is the receiver. So proprietor's account means drawings account will be debited. Drawing represent the proprietors. Drawings account debit. Drawing is the receiver. Proprietor, and interest on drawing account, interest on drawing account will be credited. Interest on drawings account will be credited. Narration will be very simple. You write the narrations over here. It is amount of rupees 1000 debit in front of drawing, and in front of the interest on drawing in the credit side we will write 1000. Narration will be very simple. Being interest on drawing charged. Being interest on drawing charged. If interest on drawing is given by the proprietor to me, if the interest on drawing, if it is given by the proprietor to me, then instead of drawing I will write cash, because cash comes in the business. As the cash is not given by the proprietor, then I will open his account, and his account is drawing. Under this account he has withdrawn the money. Okay, so this transaction is over. 7th transaction.